Here is something that will change how you think about exercise forever. In Okinawa, Japan, there are more people over 100 years old than anywhere else on Earth. And here is the strange part. Most of them have never done a single push-up, never lifted a weight, and never counted a rep in their entire lives. Yet, these elders can still bend down to tend their gardens. They can still climb stairs without grabbing the railing. They can still get up from the floor without help. Scientists traveled to these islands expecting to find some secret supplement or miracle food. What they discovered instead shocked the entire fitness world. These centenarians were doing something completely different. They were holding positions, not moving, just holding. This ancient practice is called isometric stretching, and it works by activating your muscles without any movement at all. You simply hold a position and let tension do all the work. A groundbreaking study from the British Journal of Sports Medicine in 2023 analyzed over 15,000 participants and found that isometric exercises reduced blood pressure more effectively than any other form of exercise. We are talking about a drop of nearly 9 points in systolic pressure. That is better than running, better than swimming, better than cycling. But the benefits here go far beyond blood pressure. Japanese researchers at Kyoto University discovered that isometric holds increase something called time under tension, which is the total amount of time your muscles spend working during exercise. When you do a regular squat, your muscles might work for 2 seconds on the way down and 2 seconds on the way up. But when you hold an isometric position, your muscles can work for 30, 60, or even 90 seconds straight. This dramatically increases muscle activation and builds what scientists call functional strength. That is the kind of strength you actually use in daily life. The kind that helps you carry groceries, open jars, and catch yourself if you stumble. In this video, I am going to share 5 specific isometric stretches that these Japanese elders have been doing for generations. These are not complicated yoga poses or dangerous flexibility tests. These are simple holds that anyone can do regardless of age or fitness level. And let me tell you, when we get to number 1, you will understand why researchers at Tokyo University called it the single most effective isometric movement for longevity. Their study found that people who practiced this one stretch daily had a 63% lower risk of falls compared to those who did not. 63%. That number alone should make you want to keep watching until the very end. Before we begin, share with us in the comments now your age and where you're watching us from. We read and reply to every single comment. Now, without any further ado, let's start with number 5, and this one will surprise you. Exercise number 5. Number 5, the seated wall press. Most people have never heard of this stretch, but it has been practiced in Japanese wellness centers for over 200 years. This movement targets your entire upper back, your shoulders, and even the muscles around your spine. The concept is beautifully simple. You sit with your back against a wall and press your arms backward into the surface behind you. There is no movement. There are no reps, you just press and hold. A study from Osaka University examined 120 adults over the age of 70 who practiced this stretch daily for 8 weeks. The results were remarkable. Participants showed a 31% improvement in upper back strength and a 24% reduction in shoulder pain. The researchers noted that this single exercise helped correct the forward head posture that plagues so many older adults. To perform the seated wall press properly, you need to find a sturdy wall and sit down with your entire back touching the surface. Your knees should be bent at a comfortable angle, with your feet flat on the floor about hip width apart. Now, here is the important part. Place your arms at your sides, with your elbows bent at 90 degrees. Your forearms should point toward the ceiling, and your palms should face forward. From this position, you simply press your elbows, your upper arms, and the back of your head into the wall behind you. You are not trying to move anything. You are trying to create tension by pushing into an immovable surface. Hold this position for 20 seconds when you first start. Breathe normally throughout the entire hold. Do not hold your breath, because that can spike your blood pressure and defeat the purpose of the exercise. After 20 seconds, release the tension completely and rest for about 10 seconds. Then repeat the hold 2 more times. As you get stronger over the coming weeks, gradually increase your hold time to 30 seconds and eventually to 45 seconds. Japanese wellness practitioners recommend doing this stretch first thing in the morning before you even get out of bed. Well, technically before you start your day, since you do need to get to a wall. The morning timing matters because your muscles are naturally more relaxed after sleep and the stretch helps activate your postural muscles for the entire day ahead. Many elders in Japan also practice this stretch in the evening to release the tension that accumulates from daily activities. The seated wall press works so well because it targets the rhomboids and the middle trapezius muscles. These are the muscles between your shoulder blades that tend to weaken as we age. When these muscles become weak, your shoulders round forward, your head juts out, and you develop that hunched appearance that makes people look decades older than they actually are. By strengthening these muscles isometrically, you are essentially teaching your body to hold itself upright without conscious effort. This stretch also helps with breathing. When your upper back is strong and your posture is correct, your lungs have more room to expand. A study in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science found that improved thoracic posture increased lung capacity by up to 18% in older adults. That means more oxygen reaching your brain, your muscles, and every cell in your body. Now, let us move to the fourth most important stretch that Japanese elders practice daily. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit that like button so more seniors can see it and subscribe. We've got more powerful senior health tips videos coming every day, and you don't want to miss the next. Exercise number 4. 1. Number 4, the standing hip anchor. The fourth stretch on our list targets what Japanese practitioners call the foundation of the body, your hips. The standing hip anchor is an isometric hold that strengthens the muscles around your hip joints while improving balance and stability. This is crucial because research from the National Institute on Aging found that hip weakness is the #1 predictor of falls in adults over 60. The standing hip anchor addresses this problem directly. A clinical trial conducted at Nagoya University followed 215 participants aged 60 to 85 for 12 months. Half of them practiced the standing hip anchor daily while the other half did conventional hip exercises with movement. The isometric group showed a 42% greater improvement in hip stability compared to the movement group. Even more impressive, the isometric group reported being able to walk longer distances without fatigue and felt more confident on uneven surfaces. To perform the standing hip anchor, you will need a sturdy chair or countertop for balance support. Stand beside the chair with your hand resting lightly on the surface. Do not grip tightly, because you want to use the support only for balance, not to hold yourself up. Now, lift your outside leg just a few inches off the ground. You are not trying to kick high or stretch far. You are simply lifting your foot about 3 to 4 inches. Here is where the isometric magic happens. Once your foot is off the ground, try to press your standing leg into the floor as hard as you can. Imagine you are trying to push the floor away from you. At the same time, engage your hip muscles to hold your lifted leg perfectly still. You should feel tension building in your standing hip, your glutes, and the muscles along the side of your pelvis. Hold this position for 15 seconds while breathing steadily. Then lower your leg, rest for 5 seconds, and repeat on the same side 2 more times before switching to the other leg. The key to maximizing the benefits of this stretch is maintaining perfect alignment. Your standing leg should be straight, but not locked at the knee. Your hips should be level, meaning one side should not be higher than the other. Your core should be engaged to prevent your torso from leaning to either side. Japanese elders often practice this stretch while waiting for water to boil or during commercial breaks when watching television. The beauty of isometric exercises is that they can be done anywhere without special equipment or a dedicated workout space. Over time, you can increase the difficulty by reducing how much you rely on the chair for support. Eventually, you might hold the position with just one finger touching the surface, and some advanced practitioners can do it with no support at all. The standing hip anchor also activates the gluteus medius muscle, which is the muscle on the side of your hip that prevents your pelvis from dropping when you walk. A weak gluteus medius causes that characteristic waddle that many older adults develop. Strengthening this muscle isometrically helps you walk with a smooth, confident gait that takes stress off your knees and lower back. Next, we have the third most important isometric stretch. And this one might surprise you with where it focuses. Number 3, the door frame chest opener. The third stretch targets an area that most people completely ignore until it causes serious problems. Your chest muscles. The door frame chest opener is an isometric stretch that lengthens the pectoralis muscles while strengthening the opposing muscles in your upper back. Japanese physical therapists have used this technique for decades to combat the negative effects of modern posture. A study published in the Journal of Bodywork and Movement Therapies examined how isometric chest stretching affected adults with chronic shoulder pain. After 6 weeks of daily practice, participants experienced a 53% reduction in pain levels and a 37% improvement in shoulder range of motion. The researchers concluded that the isometric component was essential because it not only stretched tight muscles but also strengthened weak ones simultaneously. To perform the door frame chest opener, stand in a doorway with your feet about shoulder width apart. Raise your arms so that your elbows are at shoulder height and bend them at 90 degrees. Place your forearms and palms flat against the door frame on either side. Your body should form a shape like a goalpost. Now, here is the key instruction. Step forward with one foot so that your chest moves slightly through the doorway. You should feel a gentle stretch across your chest and the front of your shoulders. Once you feel this stretch, stop moving forward and begin the isometric hold. Press your forearms firmly into the door frame as if you are trying to push the walls apart. At the same time, squeeze your shoulder blades together and hold everything perfectly still. Your muscles are working against an immovable object, creating tremendous tension without any movement at all. Hold this position for 20 seconds while breathing deeply and evenly. The breathing is particularly important with this stretch because you are opening up your chest cavity and allowing your lungs to expand more fully. After 20 seconds, step back, release the tension, and rest for 10 seconds. Repeat the hold 3 more times for a total of 4 rounds. Japanese elders often practice this stretch multiple times throughout the day, especially after activities that involve reaching forward like cooking, gardening, or using a computer. The door frame chest opener counteracts all the forward-leaning postures that modern life demands of us. Research from the American Council on Exercise found that the average person spends over 7 hours per day in a forward-flexed position. This constant forward posture shortens the chest muscles and weakens the upper back, creating a painful cycle of tightness and weakness. The isometric nature of this stretch breaks that cycle by addressing both problems at once. You are actively reduction in pain scores compared to just 18% in the control group. The isometric group also demonstrated a 38% improvement in walking speed and a 27% increase in stair climbing ability. These are real functional improvements that translate directly to quality of life. To perform the seated knee press, sit in a sturdy chair with your back supported and your feet flat on the floor. Your knees should be bent at approximately 90 degrees. Now straighten one leg out in front of you until it is almost parallel with the floor. You do not need to lock your knee completely straight. A slight bend is actually better for joint health. Once your leg is extended, point your toes toward the ceiling and engage your thigh muscles as hard as you can. Imagine you are trying to push your heel away from your body while simultaneously pulling your kneecap up toward your hip. This creates an isometric contraction that activates the quadriceps muscles without any joint movement. Hold this contracted position for 10 seconds while breathing normally. Then lower your legs slowly and rest for 5 seconds. Repeat 4 more times on the same leg before switching to the other side. The total time for both legs is only about 3 minutes, but the benefits are profound. Japanese elders often practice this stretch while sitting at the dinner table, while watching their grandchildren play, or while relaxing in the evening. The seated position makes it accessible for people of all fitness levels, including those who have difficulty standing for extended periods. As you progress, you can increase the hold time to 15 seconds and eventually to 20 seconds. Some practitioners add a small ankle weight to increase the challenge, but this is not necessary to achieve excellent results. The seated knee press works so effectively because it targets all four heads of the quadriceps muscle group simultaneously. These muscles are responsible for straightening your knee and supporting your body weight when you stand. When the quadriceps are weak, your knees become unstable and prone to injury. The isometric hold also strengthens the tendons and ligaments around the knee joint. A study in the Clinical Journal of Sport Medicine found that isometric exercises increased tendon stiffness by 23% over 12 weeks. Stiffer tendons might sound bad, but they are actually more stable and less prone to injury. Think of it like the difference between a loose rubber band and a tight one. The tight band provides more consistent support and rebounds more effectively under stress. Now we arrive at the number one isometric stretch that Japanese elders credit for their remarkable mobility and independence. Exercise number 1. Number 1, the wall sit breath hold. The most important isometric stretch practiced by Japanese elders is a modified version of the classic wall sit combined with a specific breathing technique. Researchers at Tokyo University conducted a comprehensive study on this exact movement and called it the single most effective isometric exercise for promoting longevity and preventing falls. The study followed 520 adults. Now, slowly slide your back down the wall until your knees are bent at approximately 130 degrees. This is not as deep as a traditional wall sit. Japanese practitioners specifically recommend this shallower angle because it provides maximum muscle activation while minimizing joint stress. Your thighs should be about halfway between standing and having your thighs parallel to the floor. Once you are in position, press your entire back firmly into the wall. Your shoulders, your mid-back, and your lower back should all maintain contact with the surface. Now begin the breathing protocol. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds while maintaining the wall sit position. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. This physical stress and the combination of all three elements creates what Japanese practitioners call integrated resilience. This means your body learns to function as a coordinated whole rather than a collection of separate parts. A study in the European Journal of Applied Physiology found that isometric wall sets performed with controlled breathing reduced resting heart rate by an average of 7 beats per minute over 8 weeks. Lower resting heart rate is associated with longer lifespan and better cardiovascular health. The researchers noted that this combination of isometric exercise and breathing work produced cardiovascular benefits. Routine. Within a month, you could be doing all 5 stretches in less than 15 minutes per day. Within 3 months, you will likely notice significant improvements in how you move, how you feel, and how confident you are in your physical abilities. Remember that consistency matters more than intensity with isometric exercises. A gentle hold performed every day will produce better results than an intense session done once a week. The Japanese elders who live past 100 did not achieve their remarkable health through occasional bursts of effort. They achieved it through daily practice of simple movements performed with intention and patience. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these 5 isometric stretches are you most excited to try first? Have you ever tried isometric exercises before? And if so, what changes did you notice in your body? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.